Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel 13 Divine Star Codes, where I am practicing astrology using the natural sky, using the true sidereal zodiac, and tracking the planets in real time and in real space. I hope that you have all been taking excellent care of yourselves through this very exciting eclipse window. We are currently in between the lunar eclipse in Aquarius and the solar eclipse in Virgo. So why is it that we're having a solar eclipse in Virgo when the nodes, Rahu and Ketu, have moved into Leo and Aquarius? Well, it's because Virgo has one last thing that she would like to say. So Ketu is actually at 5 degrees of Leo, and the solar eclipse is happening at 6 degrees of Virgo. So they are relatively nearby. And, this is just the natural rhythm of the cosmos. There is not a, cookie cutter way that the cosmos function. It is completely unique, and it's the way that it is. It is perfect in its imperfection. I remember hearing a famous yogi once say that wherever the nodes are is exactly where the eclipses will be, and that's just not true. They will absolutely be nearby, but they may not be right exactly where the luminaries are. And so what's happening here on September 21st are solar eclipse, 6:29 a.m. Pacific time, 6 degrees of Virgo. We have Ketu, 5 degrees of Leo. Ketu is in a lighter place in Leo, and Virgo has one last thing to say, wrapping up that karmic cleanup, that detail-oriented, hard-working energy of Virgo that we've all experienced over the past 18 months, having to do with improvement, making improvements on a project, or self-improving. Oftentimes this happens simultaneously, as well as the energy of Pisces, which was liberation, spirituality, creative flow. So Virgo is here where our solar eclipse is, and she is wrapping something up. She's wrapping something karmic up, and Ketu in Leo is releasing. So we're going to be releasing something that we've been dealing with for the past 18 months that has been very karmic, and we're going to release it in a way that has a lot of flow and a lot of really perfection, because karma is perfect. Life is not perfect, but karma absolutely is. And we're receiving this karmic reckoning, this karmic ending, this karmic releasing. And there's a grand trine during this eclipse event between the eclipse event itself. So that would be the luminaries, sun and moon, exactly conjunct in Virgo, with the other part of the trine, which is Uranus in Taurus. And then the third part of the trine, Pluto in Capricorn. So this is the Earth trine. And trines are harmonious flow. Uttara Falguni, where the eclipse is taking place in Virgo, has a lot to do with contracts, business dealings, partnerships. So all of that can very much so be in play here. Now, Saturn and Neptune are conjunct in Pisces, and they are giving their drishti to the event. So they're giving their gaze across the sky to the eclipse, which is causing an opposition. So they're kind of like tugging and pulling. So there is a big karmic influence here, of course, from Saturn, who's checking in on us, who wants to know, did we apply the lessons that we learned to this situation in our lives? How well did we apply the lessons? And are we taking these lessons with us, or are we just kind of trying to fake it so that the situation goes in our favor and then we go back to the way that we were? Because that's not going to work for Saturn, and Neptune there can absolutely see that. So Saturn is kind of keeping us in check here, keeping us accountable to what we have learned in the Virgo Pisces axis, and is going to be the proctor of the exam, really, is what this is. Jupiter is giving a beautiful benefic sextile to the event, a beautiful benefic sextile to the eclipse itself, as well as a trine, a trine to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So Jupiter is giving wisdom and abundance to Saturn and Neptune. And then Saturn and Neptune, they're going to hold that, and they could give it to us depending upon if we've learned our lessons and if we've passed the exam. So there is very good energy here for us, for those who have worked hard, for those who have humbled themselves in the face of, Virgo, the hard worker, who is a humble maiden, a humble servant. And for those who have done the work and not just tried to fake it until they made it. There is also some challenging aspects, such as Jupiter squaring Chiron, and Chiron squaring Pluto, and Pluto squaring Mars. And so all of that, coupled with the Saturn-Neptune opposition, definitely gives this solar eclipse a serious tone. And there is nothing more serious in life than our own karma. So as we approach the seriousness of this solar eclipse, I imagine we're all feeling it now. We just, need to take the time to take extra care of ourselves, do smudging, shower, clean our spaces, meditate, clean our minds. Remember, this is happening in Virgo. Virgo has something else to say. So we need to prepare ourselves and approach this eclipse in a humble way, and truly listen and truly employ and utilize the lessons that have been bestowed upon us, so that we can now enter this new phase of life with the Aquarius Leo eclipse points after this, and really go in there totally cleaned up by Virgo, totally cleaned up by Pisces, so that we can really reinvent ourselves and really take our lives to this next amazing creative level. So I would like to invite all of you to a very exciting discussion I'm having with Sharu Soul Vision, a traditional Vedic astrologer. We are going to be discussing the Aquarius Leo axis and what we can expect in the next 18 months to 2 years. We're going live on Instagram on September 18th. That is a Thursday at 6:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be on there for about an hour, so put it in your calendars and try to hop on if you can. And yes, we're going to go really deep into this topic, and I'm so very excited. So wishing all of you a very contained, very intentional rest of your week as we approach this final solar eclipse at 6 degrees of Virgo.